competitive politics per se does not benefit any society. There are some prerequisites, some preconditions which are required to be duly met with. Otherwise, competition might end up becoming a liability. This is true not only to politics, this is true to the economy as well. In the context of economy also, we always say that competition by itself is not going to benefit the society. When competition takes place between two or more players in any sector of economy, your telecom sector, automobile sector, or any sector, when competition is taking place, so simply because you have two or more players and all of them are producing, or they're producing the same kind of goods and services, so it is not going to benefit society directly. That competition is required to be controlled, is required to be regulated, it is required to be exercised vigilance upon by some state institutions and agencies. Some threshold level is required to be defined. You are competing against one another. Yes, it will benefit society only when it widens the range of choices. It widens the range of choices, and then there is a threshold level which is required to be met with by all the players. It means while competing against one another, you cannot compromise with the quality of goods and services. You cannot jeopardize the interest of consumers, public at large. In the course of competition, you are not allowed to do anything which will adversely affect the interest of the government, which will go against the interest of our ecological setting or the environment. So things are required to be managed. Then only competition can benefit the society. You have Vodafone, you have Airtel, you have Jio, you have BSNL, all institutions, agencies are there. But their operations are required to be controlled, regulated by TRAI. And TRAI has to ensure that regulation does not mean you are strangulating, the spontaneity or creativity of those companies. You give them adequate space that you are allowed to do business, but you are not allowed to exploit people. So that much space is required to be given. Level playing field has to be achieved at all. Small players or the new players, they should be also given a space to grow and to prosper. So and to contribute to the growth and development of society and for their own development. Fine, good. So in the context of economy, you will find that things have been controlled to a great extent. Things are being managed well. One other sectors, you have TRAI, you have Telecom Regulatory Authority of India for telecom sector. For insurance companies, insurance sector, you have Insurance Regulatory Development Authority. Then you have a Competition Commission of India in general to ensure that competition is healthy competition, it is free, and there's a element of freeness and fairness in the competition. Level playing field is there for all the players. So all the things good, fine. In the context of economy, you find that competition is benefiting the society. We have been exposed to wide range of goods and services. Utility maximization has taken place. So you have 5,000 or 10,000, you want to buy a mobile phone. So in any range, you'll find more than one options are available, and accordingly, you can express your preference. So in the context of economy, we have been able to accomplish this, that competition has benefited the society, is benefiting the society. But what about politics? These things are not happening in the world of politics, Indian politics. More than one political parties. Ideally, what should have happened? Two or more political parties competing against one another. Each one of them is fighting for popular mandate. They want to form the government, run the government, fine. Different political parties, different vision, different perspective on one other problems. They are different problems of society. They have different ways and means to deal with the same problem, whether it is poverty or unemployment, the education or public health or environment or the business or liberalization, privatization, globalization. So ideally, more than one political parties, competing against one another should have come with more than one models of governance, more than one models of development. If that is not happening, then this competition is not much beneficial. So that is happening in Indian politics, except for, you have few exceptions that political parties have some vision, political parties have a clear-cut ideology and they follow the same. Otherwise, you find tens of political parties. They are competing against one another, but that competition is not healthy competition. What is the model of governance? Governance based on guarantees, governance based on freebies and through bounties. You are doing something which is going to adversely affect the long-term interest of the society and economy. So political parties are there. You have institutional pluralism, more than one political parties competing against one another, but it is not much beneficial. Why? Because it has not been able to widen the range of choices for the people in positive sense. So you have Samajwadi Party, you have Rashtriya Janata Dal, you have NCP, you have Congress, you have BJP. No doubt, few parties have very clear, they have vision. They know where do you want to see the country 10 years, 20 years, 5 years down the line. But what about other political parties? The same thing. It means it's only on the paper that they differ from one another. It's a little bit of difference. You talk about secularism, you talk about communalism, you talk about caste, class, region, religion, etc. You don't have anything much more, anything beyond this. Vision is a kind of a kind of word which cannot be. You cannot expect them. They are political parties. The political parties, if you see their manner of functioning, if you see how they run the government, so you find that there is no vision at all. And the name of vision, they have very narrow political interest. And they have developed some kind of equation with the electorate so that they could manage the election, they could get the required mandate. They form the government, this continue. But they don't have any progressive vision. They don't have vision for the progressive development of society. So progressive development society vision, that is missing. So more than one political parties are there, but they are competing against one another, not much on substantive lines. So the symbolic politics is there. Why आपने ये मुझसे क्यों कहा, वो आपने क्यों कहा, आपने OBC के खिलाफ कुछ कह दिया. So they are looking for an opportunity to diffuse one another. So and whatever claims that they make, that's very hollow kind of claim. They always try to prove that he is not the savior of your interest. I am here. I am the ultimate savior of your interest, OBC community, SC, ST community, the Hindus and the Muslims. So what is happening? Competition is taking place, but substance is missing. So what is happening in economy, we have been benefited. To that extent, we have not been benefited in the context of politics. So political parties though claim that they differ from one another in terms of ideology, they claim, but actually there is not much difference. All of them and most of them are following the same formula. That best is the government which gives the most. When you lack vision, you suffer from intellectual bankruptcy or something. You don't have any model of governance, you don't have any model of development, you don't have clear-cut answers to various problems being faced by the society. That only thing that you are left with is to make promises and to squander the limited resources in the name of social justice or economic justice, in the name of expressing due sensitivity to the weaker underprivileged section of society. Actually you are resorting to soft bribing. You give soft bribe that if we come to power, I give you 2,500 per month or 10,000 per month, something like that. You don't have anything more than that. It means they promise that they would sprinkle water on the leaves. They don't have any idea, they don't have any vision or any model of development how to pour water into roots of the plants. That's what I mean to say, that they are far away from thinking about capacity building or creation of opportunity so that the society over a period of time becomes self-dependent. So what is happening in the context of economy, it is not happening in the context of politics. So competitive politics per se does not benefit any society. There are some prerequisites. What are those prerequisites? That in general, political parties have evolved on mature lines. Then what constitutes the political discourse of the country is also a matter of importance. That political parties, they focus more on development. They focus on development or vikas only on the paper, but in reality, they keep trying to maximize their interest by resorting to very narrow politicking or divisive politics, something like this. So competitive politics can benefit the society. Per se, by itself does not benefit the society. It can benefit the society if political parties, evolve on mature lines. Political parties come up with different or divergent views, opinion, different, models of development and governance, so that we are exposed to a wide range of choices. That if this political party comes to power, they have this model and they are going to address the problems like this. Another political party have different course of action. So they have different courses of action as contemplated by them, and they have different models of governance, 2 or 3 at least, so that we could exercise our preference. So you have a couple of political parties, they have something like this. Otherwise, most of the political parties, they have a distinct political identity of their own on the paper only, but in practical terms there is not so much of difference among these political parties. They simply come up with certain issues which are going to appeal the masses. Some people, some subjects which are of interest to the people. Generally, short term. Those things which are of short term interest, not the long term interest. So, competitive politics does not benefit society directly. It is going to benefit only when political parties become far more responsible and they evolve on mature lines. Okay, and they focus on the vision, they focus on their model of development or model of governance, then only they can maximize our interest. On its own, it is not going to happen. Thank you.